Hey, this is Goku. When I'm not training with Whis or sparring with Vegeta, I kick back and watch the Cloud Ninja podcast. Subscribe to my friends. Leave a little like and subscribe. Donations are appreciated because they promise me food, and instead of farming for Chi-Chi, I'm doing this. So get ready for free game, Barbie, and Mellow XO. Catch next time. I'm so hungry.
All right, facts. Which one do y'all think we'll see first? Kawaki's horn, Boruto's Jogan, or Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan? Matter of fact, ordered. Which ones do you think we'll see first, second, and third?
Probably Sarada's Mangekyou first, Kawaki's Horn State next, because that probably would be the one that triggers Boruto's karma.
Who's in the movie?
Yeah, the Jougan.
Yeah.
Does that even exist?
I think it does, bro. I think that's probably like the only thing on this list that's like, is it going to come back up or maybe the horn too. Some people think that might not come back up either. On a free game, you kind of think that, but some other people.
I changed my mind. No,
I've seen a lot of fans that actually did have that opinion too, where maybe the horn isn't actually there.
I thought
You gotta
so
be Kawaki's
too.
horn. You gotta be his horn, bro.
Or do you think that's coming first?
Yeah, because like out of all the options, it sounds like Boruto's kind of a finished product to a degree, like, or at least I'm kind of wondering if he can get any stronger just based off the training he's done already, or does he need to re-up and do a new training regimen to like exceed where he's at now, which sounds like that's what he needs to do. So like I'm thinking maybe Jogan's a future ability or something he already has, he just hasn't used yet or something. And then like Sarada, that's kind of like her big power up that they seem to be, putting in their back pocket for later. And the only person that's really been mentioned to like have some kind of like level up has been Kawaki in the last chapter. So I think it's more likely to be Kawaki at this point. So we'll have to see. But I'm not entirely sure how suppressing his offensive abilities would necessarily result in a physical change, but I mean it's shonen, so I suppose it could. I mean,
Yeah, I think
Oda got white hair, so yeah.
Yeah, I see what you. I think it could even be like a symbolic type of thing, like hypothetical, like when Kawaki finally gets his limiters removed, and like when Kawaki finally goes into his actual horn state, and Kawaki says like verbally, "Hey, I'm gonna finally go into my full power to see how strong I am," something like that, like test out my form or something like that. That could happen. I could see that happening. Like, yeah, that's possible. If I were to give my like 1, 2, 3, to be honest, I think my sorry to Mangekyou Sharingan coming first, bro. I think that's coming first. And to be honest, I think the reason why I say that is because Hidari's not dead. I think Hidari's probably going to come into contact with Sarada again in the future, and I'm pretty sure she's eventually going to actually use it then. The reason I feel like they haven't really used the Mangekyou Sharingan since, and I don't even know if I completely agree with it. I feel like the first time, or the second time, that they want Sarada to actually utilize it in battle is going to be like a very important scene. So like having Sarada utilize it like versus like some claw grime or something like that, and even like the first interaction between Hidari when they don't even really talk to each other and talk about like their personal lives. Like I feel like that could have possibly been like a wasted moment for the Boruto writers. Again, I personally disagree. I think you should probably just use it from episode 1. But they probably want to hold it for like something special. And I think at this particular point, with Hidari coming back, I think that could probably be like one of the next big things on the horizon. I think number 2 is Kawaki's horn. I never really thought of him like having it unlocked or him showing it once he does get like the limiters like removed. But like I could actually see that, to be honest. I could see that, but I think that any fight, right? Any given fight, Kawaki is like, it's possible that he utilizes it, bro. I just don't know why he didn't use it yet. I think that Boruto, the writers, sometimes they just don't use stuff to like be complicated. I don't know why, but I think he's going to use it eventually. Endgame, because again, they hyped it up early on. They talked about how it's going to be the Star of Hope, or it's going to be like the thing that's the last final villain. I think then the Jogan is probably going to have like the correct due respect that it kind of, or I think that the Boruto writers wants it to have. And if that's the case, I won't necessarily mind it, but I Jogan and like multiple different fights and big separate like actual missions with the Jogan, but I think it's probably
No,
gonna
I
be the
feel
last.
you on that. Like my only apprehension with Sarada is that, like you said, I don't see her just using it against Joe Blow. Shout out to that brother. I don't see her like using it against like a Claw Grime or something like that. And we already kind of had like a little arc with Hirari, and I can't imagine him just coming back so quickly and then us going through the same kind of motions with him, without us getting some kind of, I don't know, buffer in between. I feel like we need a little bit of time for before Hirari starts to rev back up like he was prior. So that's kind of why. I would have suspected that if she needed it versus him, she would have awakened it when she fought him just recently. But maybe just given the results of what happened when she got caught off guard, or she just didn't finish him off. Then maybe I don't even know if she knows she has it. But yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like the Jogan is probably in game for sure. I know Jogan, or at least some kind of resolution with Karama, with Momoshiki. But also at the same time, I'm thinking, with, I don't know. Like, do you keep that same order for the anime continuity? Because we already had the Jogan at the end of part 1 in the anime.
Hey, yeah, that's true. I mean, if we're just going on TBV, I'd say no. I think the Jogan pops up even before all. I won't be surprised if the Jogan pops up like already, like in the first 12, not 15, but like first 12 chapters, the first year. I think the Jogan is somewhere in there. It might not be like an actual anime, or might not be like an actual manga adaptation. Might be an anime exclusive, but I think it'll probably be in there somewhere in that 12 chapters.
I kind of feel like Koji and Boruto, they have to have some kind of plan when it comes to Jura, or like Shinju at large. Because like there's just no way they're setting up all this stuff to deal with this threat, and they're like, yo, he's gonna kill you in this possible future I saw. And Boruto's like, yo, I can't beat this guy. But then they just don't have something, in the works. And I don't think Kawaki is going to necessarily be enough. But at the same time, it gets really weird when you have a character like Koji who can kind of see the future. Not even kind of, he just can. So it's like, are they making moves blindly? Or is Boruto at the very least making moves blindly and Koji is not telling him? Or is every single thing that's happening now, or at least the bulk of it, orchestrated to lead to a certain possible future that they want to arrive at? In which case, Boruto already knows what his answer to Jura is, and that's why he's making moves with Kawaki, because he wants him to kind of get to that level. Because he was like, yo, regardless of if you want to help me or defeat me, you're going to need to get stronger no matter what. So it's I don't know. It's interesting just having everything kind of already known because of prescience. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It kind of feels like we're on a predestined path. And I know it's like a series and it's already written, right? So we're already on like a course that's designed for us. But at the same time, it's very overt in a way that kind of takes me out of the story, makes me think about it. So I'm like, this is interesting. Like, how much of this is just like can we fail? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, can Boruto fail if we already know what's going to happen?
Well, plot armor in Naruto, I'm always thinking no. I'm always thinking no.
Right.
So I get where you're coming from, and overall with anime, I'm kind of like that overall, which is why I always say like it wouldn't necessarily be like a totally bad idea to have like a villain win one of the times or something like that, or maybe the end of Boruto, everybody's dead or something like that. So like kind of like surprise a lot of people, but like I kind of agree. I think that eventually plot armor will succeed, but with this right here specifically, like I don't necessarily know like if the Jogan would be like a predetermined thing that like Kosh and Koji would like even tell tell Boruto about, like, because I don't necessarily think that Kosh and Koji could like help him with that. Now, in terms of like the actual things, like hypothetically, if there's like an actual path that Kosh and Koji has, and he knows the actual specific steps to get there. Well, first things first, his ideal path could be like different from Boruto's, and you pretty much said it. Like Kosh and Koji's ideal path could be like selling Boruto like a dream and telling him his ideal path is to do this specific thing, and Boruto could just be like a willing idiot or a fool of a helpful idiot. I forgot. I almost forgot that phrase. But yeah, so it could be that. But me personally, I actually think that Kashin Koji is probably telling the truth. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like any like deceptive stuff. The only thing that I would say though, I think that they don't necessarily know for sure that everything is going to be good. I think that I do believe what Kashin Koji was saying, where he knows multiple different possibilities, but he just doesn't know which ones is actually going to come through to fruition. And I think that one of the ways that we could possibly see that is like Boruto being like abducted by the Hidden Leaf Village. Now we don't fully know if Kashin Koji is actually reacting to Boruto being like kidnapped, but like I feel like Kashin Koji came before Boruto was kidnapped. I think that Kashin Koji knew that that was a possibility, but that was like one of the like the possibilities that he didn't want to happen. So like I think Kashin Koji has a possibility, but there's no guarantee that we get there. If you get that, if you get my gist.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we need some.